Strong ties between China and Indonesia set the bar for cooperation among global South countries. That's according to China's Foreign Minister Wang Yi, who's held talks in Jakarta with the chairman of Indonesia's National Economic Council. Wang said China is ready to support Indonesia's development. Well, Wang Yi's trip to Indonesia follows a two-day visit to South Korea. Josef Mahoney is the Professor of Politics and International Relations at East China Normal University.
Well, you know, both stops are part of the same trip and reflect what Beijing calls neighborhood diplomacy, prioritizing stable, practical relations with nearby countries. In Seoul, Wang Yi met the president, the foreign minister, and the national security advisor. And I think the message was clear. China-South Korea relations have been comprehensively restored. You know, they were ruptured for a while and are moving forward with stronger mutual understanding and economic cooperation, including efforts to accelerate the second phase of the free trade agreement. Now, in Jakarta, Wang Yi co-chaired the first China-Indonesia Comprehensive Strategic Dialogue, and together with China's defense minister, the second foreign and defense so-called 2+2 meeting. Now, I think taken together, these visits show China is actively deepening ties with key neighbors in both Northeast and Southeast Asia.
In South Korea, Wang Yi called for stronger strategic trust and closer economic cooperation. How important is the current improvement in China-South Korea relations for stability in Northeast Asia?
Yeah, I think it matters a great deal. High-level exchanges over the past year have put the relationship on a clear upward path. As I said, it's back on track. Wang Yi emphasized that a rational, pragmatic approach to China serves South Korea's own interest, as well as fits the broader regional trend. He called for better communication, less unnecessary suspicion, and cooperation across politics, trade, and security, while encouraging Seoul to maintain genuine strategic autonomy and develop relations with major powers in a parallel, non-exclusive way. And let's be clear, China wants security in the region. They want it on the peninsula, and they want better trade.
China and Indonesia agreed to deepen cooperation in all kinds of areas: defense, minerals, energy, technology. What does that tell us about how broad this relationship has now become?
Well, you know, again, I think in the case of Indonesia, it shows the partnership has become genuinely comprehensive. And this is something that's been developing over the years, but it's also something that continues to show great promise. Now, Chinese investment remains substantial, and both sides treat the success of Chinese companies in Indonesia as mutual success. So with all of this in hand, I think we can see the relationship now combines development, security, and strategic coordination, offering a practical example of cooperation that other countries in the region may find useful as they balance or maybe consider rebalancing their own external ties.